Hello, and welcome to the Tarot Read Show. My name is Dylan, and this is a show where I do tarot readings. I just get my questions off of Reddit. I ask in the morning, and I'm doing readings by the afternoon. And you can also ask me questions here if you want, or email me at tarotreadpod, or you can find me on TikTok at Tarot Read Show on there. Nothing special about the questions today. I'm just going to roll through. Most of my readings are just 1 to 3 cards, typically 1 or 2 card readings, if I'm being honest. And just a couple minutes each. And I did actually pick a reading that's going to be a 3 card reading for my first one today, so how about we just get to it? Alright, first question. Good morning, thank you for doing this. My favorite TV show is probably Walking Dead. What specific skills should I work on with my toddler son in order to prepare him for what are going to be his specific challenges in the next 10 years? Thank you again. All right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 card draw for you here. And those 3 cards are just going to be, I'm going to trust the deck to tell me skills that your son will need to know. And I'm going to have to trust that I can interpret the cards that way. I've never done this kind of reading before, but that's kind of the fun and cool thing about tarot is that you are sort of required to rely on your gut sometimes. Jump into the deep end, as it were. All right. What specific skills should I work on in order to prepare him? And I'm thinking skills over the next 10 years too, because I've never had kids myself, so I might tell you to work on something with your son that he obviously couldn't be working on as a toddler. Just in case it seems like he's going to excel at physical stuff or something, and you can't do that, work on that while he's a toddler. I think you get what I'm saying. All right. Let's see what the cards have to say, though. Always run my fingers along the side until I find the right top card, but then I gotta make sure I grab the 2 below it. Alright. Okay. So, accidentally grab 4 cards, that's fine. Alright. Just 3 different kind of skills that your son, you should focus on with your son. The order doesn't really matter. Alright. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's kind of funny. They're sort of in sequential order, and we are talking about someone growing, so that's kind of cool. All right. So I'm more of a vibes, visual kind of based reader. I don't typically go off of the traditional meanings of the cards, although the suits are always significant in a reading, typically. And I mean, when we're talking about a kid, and I think this is an easy one for me to say, but that first one is, obviously education is going to be important. But let's say that this is looking past that. Maybe it's not a little kid at a crosswalk. Wands are more of a spiritual suit. Maybe this is just a sign of somebody who's going to be packing a lot of spiritual, not resentments. I mean, this cat isn't necessarily angry, but maybe somebody who's going to carry the weight of the world on their shoulders a bit more than they need to. So what you should do is be sure to let them know that it's not their burden. I'm not sure what skill that might be, just introspection maybe, or just make sure that they know that their emotions are valid. Make sure that they know that they don't have to carry other people's emotions too. But this isn't the emotions card. Wands, cups are more emotions, but wands and cups I kind of intertwine anyway. But yeah, just make sure that they aren't burdening themselves. However you see that as a skill that you can teach them. Just be sure to apply that. My cat's playing with the toy. Queen of Pentacles. The Pentacles are like a material thing. For a skill, this might be a chance to teach your kid that my cat is distracting me with their toy. Maybe just a skill to teach them is to be careful with their money. Just because this is somebody who there's cards out there that are like, hey, be gracious with your money, and that's important to teach too. But this might be something where maybe just your kid, if you don't teach them to be careful with their money, they could be a bit of an overspender. But in that same regard, we look at the Knight of Swords. And I guess these aren't in sequential order because I read that as a king off the top of my head because of the K. But either way, the Knight of Swords, you need to teach them also to be bold. Because if somebody who carries the weight of the world on their shoulders and who you're teaching to be fiscally responsible could very easily become somebody who is very introverted. I'm an introvert. I think it's fine to be introverted. It could become somebody who becomes lost in themselves. So you do need to be sure to nurture in them the skills of being bold and going forth and adventure and adventures of the mind, even in particular, as the swords are more of the mind sort of suit. So just teach them not to take on other people's problems. Teach them to look after their money, but also teach them to take chances where it seems like it's a good idea. Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching, and please, if you did like that, definitely follow me on TikTok too, where I do general readings throughout the week for each of the zodiac signs, or I would appreciate subscribing on here. But yeah, thank you for watching. Bye. All right, reading number 2. Hey, my favorite show right now is Alice in Borderlands. I actually have watched a little bit of that. I need to get back into that. I know you just wanted a general reading of what you need to hear today. It's kind of hard for me to read that on my computer screen. It's a lot smaller because I'm doing a weird video thing. But a general reading of what you need to hear today, which, who knows, that could apply to further out, in the more near future kind of thing. But yeah, what you should hear today. And let's just do 2 cards. Why not? I typically have been doing 1 card readings when people ask me for something like that, but I'm trying to expand on that, give a bit more information now that I'm getting more confidence. So, all right, 2 card read on that. Those are cards that feel right. Alright, what do you need to hear today? Okay. An interesting pairing. I think this might be a time to I don't know if you maybe need to hear this, but it's maybe time to push yourself further, either into a relationship that you already have, or maybe start pursuing a relationship more earnestly, to be strong in trying to find a relationship. The cards are typically kind of pretty blatant, I feel, in questions like this. And I try not to, especially when a major arcana card shows up, I think that is just telling you right to your face. Like, this one is telling you, the strength card is telling you to tame kind of your inner, the things that are the best about you, and make sure that you are using those to your advantage. And this is telling me that you need to do that kind of in a probably a romantic relationship, at the very least a very friendly one. But just be sure that you're fulfilling your relationships and putting as much into them as you can, because if you don't, you're gonna find that you're suffering here in the near future. And pretty easy read. Thank you for watching, and as always, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to this, or you can always find me at TikTok too. I do general readings on there for each of the zodiacs. All right, thank you very much. All right, next question. Will C and D get serious? Thank you. The Office is great. I agree. The Office is great. How could anybody think it's not? It's a pretty fine show. All right. And I love this question. I actually, for some weird reason, I got a few of these questions this week. So I kind of like this. Like, I got your question. Yours was the first like this that I got this week, so I jumped on it. But I just thought it was funny. Like, it doesn't seem like it's even your relationship. So I don't need any more details than that. I don't know if you want them to get together. I don't know if you don't want them to. This could be like one of your kids and their girlfriend. I don't have any idea, but I just think it's funny that you want to know if C and D will get serious or not. And I think it's a fair question. I don't ask these questions about my own life. Just I try to live very much in the moment and not think about the future too much, in even in regards to my love life, but or other people's love life. But I don't. This doesn't feel like meddling. You just want to know, are they gonna get serious? Let's find out. Yeah, and I think hopefully we'll just get a pretty blatant, obvious card. There's some very lovey cards, and there's some very hatey cards. It would hateful cards. It would suck if we got something in between. But I can always draw a clarifying card, I suppose, if that happens. But let's just see if we get something obvious. At least two get friggin' serious. Just like the card. Kind of showing it to you, but I haven't seen it yet. Was it good? Huh. You know what? I might draw a clarifying card here. Let me see what I think about this. I'm more of a visual reader. I don't go off of the traditional meanings of the cards, although the major arcana are definitely ones that I feel are more set in stone. I feel like one of these two in particular is not feeling it at the moment. It's just not feeling like coming out at all in the moment, just in regards to a relationship. They are maybe okay, so I think I will draw a clarifying card, just because this is at least one of these people, I mean, heck, maybe both, but at least somebody there is just not wanting to retreat from whatever they've retreated into themselves a bit, and they're not wanting to get out of that. But that wasn't the question. The question was very particular. Will these two get serious? Okay, and let's see if the cards can give us an answer to that. Because we got an answer kind of to why they're not maybe serious, but will they get serious? Another major arcana card, the Chariot. And we see two side by side in the picture there at the bottom. They're sphinxes, but the Chariot does typically mean full steam ahead. Man, I always feel bold making calls like this, but I think somebody is very indecisive right now. Maybe even they need somebody behind them to give them a kick, because let's say they are the two sphinxes in this picture. Again, I'm a visual reader. I just go off of my vibes change each time I pick up a card. Maybe you are the person who is behind them, pushing them along. And heck, maybe that first card even represents you too a little bit, kind of in the background, watching from a distance, like, hey, what's going on here? I'm not sure in particular there, but I would say I think that there might be something serious coming down the pipeline. If that's the reading I'm getting from these cards, but I think just there could be some hesitancy there. But yeah, two major arcana cards. I always feel like that means something. So moving my board. Thank you for watching. And if you like that, definitely subscribe on here, or find me on TikTok too. I do weekly general readings on there too. Thank you very much. All right, next question. Hey, so my favorite TV shows, Friends and Modern Family. I love them both. Watched through both of them multiple times. I think 2 times each. Maybe Friends 3 or 4 times, because my mom had that on repeat growing up. Anyway, when will my ex, KK, regret and come back to me, MB, for reconciliation? I did want to say off the top before I do this reading, I think it's kind of bold to assume that your ex will regret that and come back to you. The question of when that will happen. But also, I'm not great at answering the when questions. So this feels more like a why question to me. Or not why, more of just drop the when. Will my ex KK regret and come back to me for reconciliation? And that is a question I can try to answer. And hopefully, I can get that question answered in one card. I might draw a clarifying card, but yeah, let's just see. Will your ex KK regret and come back to you for reconciliation? I mean, I think it's a perfectly fair question. Alright. Now, I'm more of a visual kind of vibes reader. I don't go off of the traditional meanings of the cards, but the swords are a suit that is traditionally more of a mind sort of card. And, I can't know if either of you are male in this relationship. King of Swords might typically kind of represent a intelligent man, but what I see from this card is maybe somebody who wants to hold somebody kind of close to them who's maybe not into it. I feel like my cards do sometimes just reach in and say stuff that can seem harsh. I almost wonder if you are the king in this situation, kind of holding that dog a little too close. And even if you didn't mean the question to be when will your ex regret it and come back to you, the fact that you did begin it with when instead of just will they do it, I kind of feel like this means they have a maybe even it's an inverse there of they have a mental hold on you. They're the king, you're the little puppy there that they have a mental hold on. I mean, it kind of works either way because you do clearly have your own mental grip on them as well. I believe that this is saying that you should probably let that go because that sitting on that stone throne is not going to keep you very comfortable. I know that's probably not what you wanted to hear at all. I do hope that this was maybe somehow helpful for you. Thank you for the question, and thank you. All right, next question. Will a promotion at my job ever come, or am I stuck? I've been there for 19 years. My favorite TV show is Home Improvement. Haven't seen Home Improvement, but I know Tim Allen from the Santa Claus. It was a staple in my house growing up. All right. Let's just see. There are plenty of career-based cards in the index. The Pentacles might be one that we could expect to see if you're getting a promotion or not going to get a promotion. I even picked a Pentacles card as I pick a different sticker each week. That's a Seven of Pentacles, which does actually kind of mean hard work paying off. That's actually a card that we would hope to see in a read like this. But let's just see what the cards say. And I can draw a second clarifying card if I need to, but typically, one card is all you need. Let's see what we got. Yep. Let's see. Get a little feeling in my head when I reach the right card. I'm not optimistic, and I actually think that this is showing that this is really weighing on you. This is a Seven of Swords, which at its most basic word, like if you could distill it to one word, it is thief. But especially the swords are a mental card, And I would say that this is indicative of somebody who has had a lot of mental time and energy stolen from them, likely by your career. And a lot of times my cards don't actually answer the question. They tend to tell you just maybe a harsh truth at the heart of why you're asking the question, and that is just because this is something that has been weighing on your mind. For so long, for how long you've been there, and if you're still waiting on a promotion, I will draw a clarifying card. I will see if that promotion will come. I'll ask the cards, hey, can you give me an answer to this? But I think the cards are telling you to not let this job have any more of your mental time, to not give it any more of that time and energy that you've given it. But that doesn't mean the promotion isn't coming. That's just the cards trying to give you their own advice. So let's see if the cards will give us an answer in particular. Yeah. Well, I am more of a visual reader, not a traditional card reader. I'll take a look at what the Nine of Pentacles traditionally means. I don't necessarily think that this is telling you that promotion is coming. I think it's more saying that you might want to start relying on your friends and contacts. If you really do want that promotion, that might be the way to get it. I always see this as, the little birds of life, the people in our ears coming to us and giving us help. If you want that promotion, you might need to ask for it. Is kind of what I get out of that. But let me take a look at this little book I got here and just see what it's got to say, because you're here for a reading, and you might just be curious anyway what it means. Just the key meanings are comfort, accomplishment, and prosperity. So I don't know that the cards were trying to tell me that. The cards speak to each reader in the way that the cards think they'll understand it. But if you want to take it that way, then I think you should. But I take this more to mean you will need to work for that promotion. But the cards are telling you, don't give this job more of your time if you have other options. If you've been in that career for as long as you have, maybe try and parlay that into another a job with a couple bucks raised at another company. Same job, different company. I don't know if that's how it works in your industry, but I'm just saying the cards don't think that you should stay at this job. But if you can start talking to the right people and working at that, then yeah, you can get that promotion that you want. This was a little bit of a winding reading for you, but I hope that you got something out of it. And thank you for watching. If you did like it, I would very much appreciate you following me on here or on TikTok too, where I do general readings throughout the week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the question too. It was an interesting one. All right. Question number 6. And it looks like I cut off what this person's favorite TV show was, but that's all right. All right. MYK ignores me in my messages. That's hopefully the cards can answer that question. The card that I get should just kind of be a read on what this person is feeling towards you at the moment. Why are they ignoring your messages? Is it for a reason? If it's for like it sounds like they ignore your messages on a more habitual level, as in it keeps happening over and over. It's not like they're ignoring your messages and you're wondering if they're alive or not, whatever. It just seems like they maybe leave you on red a bit too long sometimes. And hey, let's see if it's because they feel a way about you. It might not be because they feel a way about you. Sometimes people do just, they aren't big messengers, even if they used to be. But hey, I'm not the one with the answers here. That's why we have the cards. Alright, let's see if we can get an answer in one card. The Wheel of Fortune. Huh. I mean, major arcana means a major answer typically. I am more of a visual reader. I typically go off of what I see in the cards in the moment. I typically, I mean, if you're asking me why, yeah, it's a pretty basic question. Why do they ignore your messages? I would say that it is just because life happens. I don't think that they're ignoring your messages because of anything you're doing. I think that they are. I mean, not in particular, not any more than like they might have been doing in the past, at least. It is just that, life can sometimes get tricky. I mean, there's snakes and devils and sphinxes on this card. Just there's stuff happening all over the place, and that's how life gets sometimes. I don't know. Maybe just if you have asked them, why are you not talking to me as much? If you haven't asked them, ask them. If you have asked them and you're not satisfied with the answer, then maybe it is more on you in this instance. Because sometimes the wheels of fortune do turn, and we can't always give the things that in our life that deserve more attention the attention that they need. And it does suck, but it is unfortunately how it goes sometimes. Thank you for the question, and thank you for watching. Hi, favorite shows, Twin Peaks. That's a show that I've watched the first episode of, and it was very long, and I need to just continue it someday. But I am talking to a woman who I really enjoy conversing with, but she sounds very anti-traditional as far as monogamy goes. Almost poly, but she doesn't label it that way. And then I'm a Gem Rising. Stuff I don't necessarily know astrology as well as I can do tarot readings, but I'll trust you. Your main question is, should you just go with the flow on this? And hey, I'm a Sagittarius too, like her. I suppose I understand we can sometimes be free spirits or something like that. Yeah, let's see what the cards have to say. Should you just go with the flow? My personal opinion is probably yes. I'm not. You don't want to hear me. You don't need my advice. Let's see what the cards have to say. That's what we're here for. Will going with the flow be successful, or should you not go with the flow? And I mean, I do think that you should be upfront with her that you're looking for somebody who's more monogamous, because you shouldn't try and tame this person. If she wants to be poly, she should be. But let's just see if going with the flow will work in a way that makes you both happy. All right. Run my finger along the side until I find the right card, and we'll see if one card does it. Might draw a clarifying card. Should you go with the flow? So Cups are an emotional card, and the Page of Cups he always strikes me as kind of like a goody two shoes, and somebody who does very much try to be open about their emotions and wear their emotions on their sleeve. Look, she might be poly, maybe. I think you need to be the guy who's honest about what he wants, truthfully. And sometimes my cards, unfortunately, don't answer the question directly. Will it work? I don't know. In my cards, I just tried with the last person's question to ask the cards to be nice and actually answer the question, and I kind of did. So I will go ahead and do that again, actually. But I think the cards are giving you this answer first. Be honest about your emotions, be very upfront about it, and that is the way to go, which would essentially be saying don't go with the flow. But again, the question is, will going with the flow work? And I don't love that necessarily asking it that question, because in my head, this feels like you asking should you not be yourself necessarily, because you are the person who wants to be monogamous. And if you're asking if you should go with the flow, that kind of means you aren't the person who would typically go with the flow. So you're kind of putting on airs. But I suppose everybody puts on airs when we're dating. So it's not like you're being insidious or anything. I'm not trying to paint it as bad. I'm just saying the cards are clearly saying wear your heart on your sleeve. But Will, being more laid back, maybe you're even asking, should I change how I am on a deeper level? Should I just be more laid back in general? And that's a question worth asking. And I think the cards could even appreciate a question like that for sure. And will that work to make a relationship between you guys work? Let's see if we can get a more direct answer. If this doesn't lead to an answer, though, then I think the cards are kind of hanging us out to dry, maybe. Feeling kind of strong near the bottom. Come on. No. Just always, nope, that's a no. The devil, I mean, he literally, it's not in a bed, but it basically is kind of like you shit the bed emotionally, relationship wise. Nobody's happy in this situation. It's not going to work out if you are simply trying to put on the airs of going with the flow, and you're not, if you are kind of trying to, the metaphorical way I've heard it, put is if you're trying to clip her wings, then that's just it's not going to work out for either of you. You do have to be honest with her. Wear your emotions on your sleeve, And I think that maybe even because that is the first card we drew, maybe that is saying that is what will 100% work. But I am telling you what will not work is if you try going with the flow with the intentions of changing her from a poly person into a monogamous person. It's just, we all like to believe, that we have these abilities and that we will be the person to change a person. But, we also shouldn't necessarily want to change a person if we really love them for who they are, or like them for who they are. So, and anyway, sorry. Enough, whatever I was just doing there. If you did enjoy this reading, I do hope that you maybe subscribe or like this, so you can also find me on TikTok. But either way, thank you for the question, and I do hope you have a good rest of your day. All right, next question. My favorite TV show is Modern Family. Second person to mention that today. And I'm interested in the free reading. Question, will I get the grade I'm hoping for? All right, you got just one test left. You scored well in, very close. Okay, so look, I feel like tarot is more of an emotional thing. But it is used for divination and telling the future, and I think it's fair for you to come to me and ask me that. Question of, will you get the grade you're hoping for? I'm assuming you're hoping for a good grade, and it sounds like you've worked hard for it. I hope that the cards can answer that. Let's just see what the cards say. This is kind of, I don't do a lot of questions where people ask blatantly about just obvious yes or no thing, will this happen in the future? But I've got to start eventually. So let's see what the cards have to say. And I like to think that the cards will just be blatantly obvious, and we'll get a card that's just like, boom, yes, or boom, no, unfortunately. But who knows? I might have to draw a clarifying card. Let's see what we can get. Will you get the grade you're hoping for? Sometimes it takes a minute. I spread my cards out on my hand and sit on a table, so feeling the right card. You know what? A very good card though. This is the Four of Pentacles, with Three of Pentacles, sorry, which is, even in a traditional sense, I'm more of a visual reader. But even in a traditional sense, is somebody who is rewarded for showing off their talents. It's a very obvious, very good card to draw. When I said I wanted a card, I was hoping for a card that would be either just boom yes or boom no. This is a definite boom yes card for your talents are going to be paid off here. You're going to be able to show off your talents, I mean. And yeah, they're going to be paid off. That is what I get from this card. Very quick and easy reading. You got to love it. All right. Thank you for watching. If you did like this reading, please follow me, subscribe on here. I'd really appreciate it. And definitely, also find me on TikTok. I do weekly zodiac readings for each sign, general readings. Yeah, it's just for fun. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. Hey, my favorite show is Midnight Gospel, a show I haven't checked out, but I actually know of it because of the guy who voices the main character and created Duncan Trussell. He has he was on a podcast that I used to listen to a lot called Harmontown. That was really funny. So I am familiar with the show, and I know it's very existential and actually something that I feel like I probably would enjoy. I feel like Duncan Trussell seems like a decent, cool guy who'd be fun to talk to. So let's see here. Can I ask, what do I have to do differently to change my finances? So for a read like this, you maybe expect to get a Pentacles card, because those are more of the money and material objects sort of cards. But also, I wouldn't be surprised if you're asking what you need to do differently. So this could be any number of things. You could need to change emotionally on the inside, mentally. Let's just see what they have to say. Well, it is the Pentacles. I might draw a clarifying card, but let me see what I think of this. I'm more of a visual reader. I don't typically go off of the traditional meanings. And what I see on this is literally somebody balanced on their money. You're asking about finances. I'm assuming that you probably keep a balanced checkbook. If you don't already, keep your on top of your finances and have a budgeted list of things, then I think this is saying start with the basics. I'm going to go ahead and draw a clarifying card because this is literally saying to keep on top of your money. It's like the tarot deck's way of saying, hey, stupid, just be on top of things. And I think it might just be talking to me. I've been asking the tarot deck to, I've been asking some not tough questions, but I keep asking it clarifying cards, and I think sometimes the deck gets upset about that kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it. More the energy of the universe than anything, but yeah, it's kind of just saying, hey, keep on top of your money, and that's pretty obvious. Let's see if we can get just a direct answer of again, what is the exact question? What do you have to do differently? And if you aren't keeping on top of your checkbook and checkbook in quotes, nobody has a checkbook now, but if you aren't being sure that you don't have just random things coming out of your accounts and stuff, then that means you aren't even doing the basics. And this card is right, that you do just need to focus on the basics before you do anything else with your finances. I know a lot of people who want to be millionaires who jump from thing to thing to thing and then are like, why am I poor? Well, it could very well be because you aren't just focused on one thing. But hey, let's see what the cards had to say, if there's a more direct answer out there. All right. Not exactly. I was almost expecting to get slapped in the face here with something else like that, Four of Pentacles. But no, for this, the pages are. I always see the pages as somebody who's, a page is a knight's assistant in a sense. So it's not somebody who's on a journey themselves necessarily, but maybe gets and receives help on their journeys. I I would say that you're asking me for assistance with finances, and I think that this is just the beginning of you accepting that you may need some actual help with this kind of stuff. Maybe in this sense, you're the little lizard there on the arm of somebody who could actually help you. Uh, the wands are a spiritual card, so more of a inward journey kind of thing, typically. But yeah, this might be just. I mean, most people can't afford to like go to an actual accountant or financial advisor. So this is maybe your way of seeking out help. And I think that maybe this is the universe saying to keep seeking out help, maybe just in avenues and venues where I'm certainly not a financial tarot reader. Maybe there is a financial tarot reader out there that you could talk to about this kind of stuff. I'm just not a financial person in general. Maybe that's also why the oh, my cat's showing up. Maybe that's also why the cards are saying, "Hey, basic financial advice is all you can give, Dylan." It's talking to me and saying, "Hey, you're not equipped to tell this guy how to deal and do better at his finances." So I think you may need to find an actual mentor or person knowledgeable to help you with this moving forward, because maybe neither of us are equipped. Is what we're learning here. So I don't think that's the answer that you were looking for, but I try and be honest, and that I guess that's what I'm feeling with it right now. If you did enjoy this reading somehow, I'd really appreciate you subscribing, or on TikTok I do also do readings throughout the week of just each zodiac sign. I'll hit them throughout the week. So yeah, I do hope you enjoyed the reading. This was an interesting one. I really do appreciate the question. And I'm sorry if I was kind of meandering and it wasn't, what you wanted. All right. Thank you very much. All right, we got 2 more questions today. Modern Family, and you're the third person to say that today. And once again, it's a show that I've watched through, I think, twice. So I'm a pretty big fan. Yeah, I think it's pretty hilarious. Starts to taper off on the later few seasons, but I'm not original for saying that. So, all right. I just want to know if this connection I have with E is worth pursuing, or am I just being delusional thinking that he likes me too, even if he doesn't? Think fair question. Think we've all been there. The cards have been, I don't want to say mean today. They haven't been mean. They've been blunt today. The last reading was a guy asking financial decisions, and the cards basically said to me, "Hey, dummy, just tell him to focus on the basics, because you don't know any more than the basics." That's what they were saying to me. I believe. That's my interpretation. So, let's see if the cards are a bit kinder here, and yeah, I believe we can find an answer. Card feels right. Let's see what it has to say. I might draw a clarifying card. Let me see. I'm more of a visual reader, so I have to take a moment with this card. Typically, the Pentacles are more of a material, financial, money kind of card. What I get from this, let me just... is this connection worth pursuing? And... is this... my computer's being laggy. And yes, he did say he. So this card could be representing him. And I see the King and Queen of Pentacles. A lot of times when I look at them, I see somebody who's being kind of... because it has to do with wealth, I see somebody who keeps things, wealth, to themselves. But maybe in this case, we're not talking about wealth. Maybe this is somebody who does kind of... just tend to keep to themselves in a relationship way. But that doesn't really answer if this is worth pursuing. That just kind of might explain why you're even having to ask the question, because, hopefully in an ideal world you would just know if it was worth pursuing. And this is maybe just giving clarification for why you don't know the answer yet, and it could just be because he is a bit closed off and plays things a bit close to the chest or vest that way. So I don't know what the saying is, chest or vest in that. But all right, let's draw a clarifying card. Let's just see if we can get a straight answer. Is this worth pursuing? Will it end up in something meaningful? Not a good sign. The moon, just a lot of chaotic energy, kind of illusion, which can line up with the fact that this is somebody who maybe isn't super open and outward about wanting a relationship, perhaps. I think that this kind of means that you guys are in for a rocky road in this regard, in the essence of trying to get into a relationship. But there are and maybe even there's a third party in there that's making things confusing between the two of you. That lobster in there. So maybe that's another thing, is there could be a third party in here mixing things up. But I also think that just in general, what you would have to look forward to with this person is something kind of chaotic, and maybe you even know that. Maybe that's part of what you like about the idea. I'm not positive, but just I don't get a great feeling that good things will come from trying to pursue this. I do imagine a lot of really the only word that comes to mind for it is chaos in your future if you do keep pursuing it. So the cards aren't always nice, but that is at least you're honest with us, I suppose. If you like this reading, I'd appreciate if you subscribed, or on TikTok I do weekly zodiac readings for each of the signs, just for fun kind of stuff. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the question. I really do appreciate it. Last question for the day. Hi, it's Jay, and my favorite show is Chowder or Courage the Cowardly Dog. Never watched Chowder, but watched Courage the Cowardly Dog over all the time growing up. I love that one. My question is, how does Jay feel about me? Is there a real connection there? All right, Jay and Jay. Let's just see what the cards have to say. The cards have been very blunt today. Kind of an odd day with the cards, but not in a bad way. I like that the cards are honest, I suppose. I feel like they kind of were calling me dumb here and there, but that's neither here nor there. So let's just see what the cards have to say. How does Jay feel about you? And then if we need a clarifying card, I will happily draw it. I drew this card earlier, and I feel like I drew it for the same reason. The swords are a very mental card, and this card in particular is just very straight up the thief. I think I will draw a clarifying card. I just did this like 20 minutes ago. I think this is a card telling you that this is somebody who's taking up a lot of mental time and energy, and maybe stealing that mental time and energy from you. That's not saying that there's nothing there and that this relationship couldn't work and can't go anywhere, but maybe you are letting them live in your head a bit more, rent free, and stealing rent money from you in a sense. In that sense, just I'm not saying it's a bad. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. Even you're just maybe thinking about this too much. And so just the cards. I say they've been blunt, but maybe they are being kind by just trying to tell you what to actually focus on before getting to the actual answer of the question. So just one to grow on, something to think about. I keep this around for a reason. So yeah, just let's but let's see if the cards do have a more definitive answer. Let me just refresh myself on just the how does Jay feel about you? All right, yeah. Okay. Uh, um, how does he feel about you? I feel like this might be familiar. He doesn't know for sure how he feels about you. Um, I I didn't mention this before, but I know I did a reading for you. I think it was it last week even, and I don't know if I drew this card exactly. I think I might have. Uh, I just I don't think he knows how he feels about you. Um, and you did ask a more pointed question: is there a real connection there? I think the fact that he doesn't know that it's I think the fact that it causes him consternation, that it causes him to think, does mean that there is a connection there. But is it the love connection that you're clearly looking for? That is clearly the question. Um, this is my last reading for the day. Why not just try one more card, see if we can answer that final question just more definitively of is there a real connection there. I think the cards are telling you you're thinking about this too much. He's thinking about this maybe not even too much. Just at least he doesn't even know how he's thinking about it. But is there a real connection there? I think there is. But is it a romance connection is the question that I suppose that is obviously the one of the day. All right. That is an interesting kicker to this reading. Is there a connection there? I think that a nurtured connection, a strong nurtured connection, is certainly possible. Um, the thing is with this kind of card, I don't get a romance vibe from it. I get a strong this could be somebody who is big in my life. And that could be romance. Don't get me wrong. There's literally red flowers on the ground. Those could be roses. I'm just saying, is there something there? Yes, there is something there, and it could be big for both of you. I don't know if it's romance, but I think this is clearly there's something going on between you two. A lot of thoughts and feelings. Those are literally the two first cards. First card thoughts, second card feelings. Third card, yeah, you guys could build something together. I don't know if I can say that it's a romantic thing, but you're not, overthinking the fact that there could be some sort of bigger connection. You're not overthinking that. It's just, I don't think he's come to a decision, and maybe he's not going to come to a decision anytime soon. Unfortunately, I know that's not the answer you want, but it's the one I've got, and I guess that's it for my show for today. Thank you for watching, and thank anybody else who decided to watch. Thank you for your question, obviously, and anybody who watched this, please subscribe, like the episode, all that stuff. I'm also on TikTok where I do weekly, just throughout the week, I do general readings for different subjects for each zodiac sign, so find me there. But otherwise, hope you guys have a great rest of your week, which I guess is only till tomorrow because it's Saturday. Enjoy.